What's up, guys? It's Nice Felts. Hope you guys are having an amazing day today. So I got back from Nationals and I did a little bit of streaming. I just wanted to relax a little bit. It was a long 7-hour drive. And so I decided to make a video today instead of yesterday because I do some streaming yesterday, make a video today. And so today all I'm going to talk about is a whole bunch of things about bass, what you want to be using to catch bass, what kind of tackle you want to be using, the bait, where the bass are going to be biting, and all stuff like that. I also got a new shirt. It's a fishing jersey. It's pretty legit. I think it's awesome. It cost me a good. Why did my phone do that? Alright, so I haven't already noticed. I got a new shirt. I love it. It's awesome. It's got a back. It's a fishing jersey. It looks pretty amazing. Yeah, I think I really like it. I don't know. I'm gonna do some fishing with it. I might do some videos with it, like videos like this. I like it. And so, let me get back to what I was talking about. The best bait I've ever used, my favorite all-around bait, are spinner baits. This is a topwater one. I've caught countless bass on this thing. They are amazing to use. Really, all you got to use is just reel it in. Doesn't matter what speed, they'll hit anything. I've caught pike, bass, all these different fish. I've even caught a sunny on it. Don't know how, but I did. I've caught many fish with just one spinner bait. I've got a whole bucket full of spinner baits, different colors. You try a new color, match the hatch, figure out where the depth is, try to get it just right. Bass are probably going to be biting around, it depends like what time of the year it is. They usually like top water to get some of the flies and stuff off the top, or they could be down in the bottom of the water going for little minnows and stuff. That brings up the second thing. You guys, I don't know if you fish a lot, you just call them minnows, but these are shad wraps. They are great for either, this is top water, this one is top water, this one is for, it's a deep runner. One is top water, one is a deep runner. This one will be more on the top of the water, just going around the top, going for the more of the bass and stuff on the top. This one will be going all the way to the bottom, going for some bass on the bottom. You got to figure out which one you're using and what depth you're using it at. If you got to always, the most important thing about fishing is, you guys might not know, but one of the most important things is the weather. So if you're fishing in windy conditions, use like a little bit of a heavier bait that will not get caught in the wind so much. If you're fishing in light conditions, you can use light like spinners and stuff. I've caught a lot of fish on spinners. I actually bought a whole entire thing of spinners while I was at Bass Pro Shops. Bought a whole thing of them so I can get some more trout fishing videos out for you guys. And so yeah, I buy some online too. They're just really cheap ones, but they work. You guys can see that. I actually, while I was there, I bought a good supply of shad wraps, because you'll never have too many. These things were on sale, so I bought a whole crap load of them. And I mean, I've used this one. This one's small, goes for more smaller bass and stuff. I mean, it depends. This, you're probably going for 1 or 2 pound bass, maybe. I mean, even like 3 or 4 pound bass will bite this thing. It depends where you're fishing. I fish in Minnesota. I fish bass fishing up in Florida too. In Florida, you can use this small little things. Depends if you're using ponds or something. I use this for the more smaller bass I'm going for. And if I'm going for a real monster or something, I'll go for this for like the 3 or 4 pounders just to catch something big. And I mean, you can catch small bass on these big ones, and you can catch big bass on these small ones. So it really doesn't depend, but if you are going for a smaller bass, you don't want to overdo it with like a musky lure. If you're going for small bass, you want to fit what is like good for them, which also works really good are jigs. This one has a little sound thing on it so you guys can hear it better and stuff, so the fish can hear it. So I don't know why we need to hear it, but whatever. So you just got a little jig on. All you got to do is tie this thing on and jig it close to the bottom, off the bottom, just like this. And you can add a little bit of a tail on the bottom if you really want. I mean, it works if you want to do it. This is first so it does not get stuck in the seaweed and stuff. What I would suggest you use, if you're intermediate fisherman, you can use these. If you've just started out, worms, nothing's gonna beat a worm for bass. Nothing will beat it. You just throw it out there, leave it there. A bass is gonna bite no matter what. I mean, nothing beats worms. If you're a beginner, I'd use worms. To get a better fisherman, I would use spinner baits or spinners, because all you got, it's not as hard to use. For these, you can use different techniques. You can use you could walk the dog with it if you really know how to walk the dog. You can do that. There's a special way to do it with lures like this. They more work for frogs and stuff. Which, coming up to the next one, frogs. I think I actually used up my last frog. I lost it on a bass. I have lost, when they hit it, it breaks the hooks all the way out and stuff and ruins them. So I have to keep buying more of them, but I'm not really in bass season right now. I just wanted to make the video so you guys would know. Frogs, it's hard to learn how to use a frog. There's some techniques you can use, as when you let it sit for about 5 seconds till all the ripples go away. Then you hit it, wait for the ripples, hit it. Or if you got more active bass, keep hitting it like this. And so that's some of the best lures you can use spinner baits, rattle traps are also good if you're going for very active bass. Topwater frogs, a lot of topwater. It depends where you're fishing and what you're fishing for if you want to use topwater. It all depends where you're fishing, what you're fishing for, and the conditions. Now let's get on to the kind of tackle you'll be using. So what I like to use are flugers. As you guys know, I use flugers in all my videos. This is a Fluger President. It is, I think, their third to biggest one. If you're going for big bass, I would go something like this and something like this. Maybe go with a different pole or a lighter pole so you guys can feel the bite better. If you're going for smaller bass, I'd use a ultralight pole because you can feel the tension very well. Do not go too low if you're going for a little bit bigger bass because that will either, I've had them snap my line, snap my pole. I've had all that crap happen like that and I regret doing it. So I do not go, I don't know how to explain this. You can use a big tackle for light fish, but don't go too light for the bigger fish because that makes a big difference and it's just, I would not request you guys doing that. And if I turn let me just turn this thing off for a second so I can turn the camera around. And so if you know how to use an open reel really good, the second best thing you can use is a bait caster. They can throw it far, but the hard thing is how to learn how to use them. I would suggest before using it, watch a video on how to learn how to use one because they are extremely hard to use and you have to have a lot of skill to do it. And what I have on here is just a jointed lure, which I use a lot of jointed lures, just how it moves back and forth like this, and the fish really like that. A lot of bass do. Alright, so if you're using jointed lures, you can catch a lot of walleye too. Sometimes if you're using a small enough one, you can catch sunny. I use a lot of grasshoppers by Rebel. I got my Rebel hat right there. You can't see it because it's on the wall, but I use a lot of Rebel lures just because they're great to use and they're cheap, very cheap, and they're great lures. Most of them are topwater. I'm not 100% sure on that. I actually have my box right here of little baits here. All my, if I Texas rig stuff, I have it all right here. And on the bottom, I have my wacky rig setups right here. And that's just a whole bunch of things you can use. This is what you should be walking the dog with. This is a Rebel, not a plastic frog, a Rebel frog, and it's great for walking the dog if you know how to use them. And so my last thing I gotta say is, what is a great thing to learn how to use are spoons. You can reel them in fast, you can reel them in slow, doesn't matter, you're going to catch a fish. Believe me on that, you will catch a fish. No matter how many, you can try it 100 times, you can try one time, one of the times you're going to catch a fish. I think that's all I got. I wanted to go over just, all I really want to do is just help you guys learn how to fish better and stuff like that, and I think I went over it all pretty well. I mean, I don't think I'm leaving anything out. If you guys did like today's video, hit that like button. I want to get my channel to 700 subscribers by the end of April. I don't know if I'm going to get that. I'm really hoping I can. I'm shipping out my giveaway winner packages tomorrow morning. I got it all packed up ready. So guys, look forward to that if you guys won. So I hope you guys did like today's video. If you did, drop a like in this video. Till I see you guys in the next video. Peace out.